Good day. Today's lesson is going to be about redundancy. I'm Mrs. Swart and I'll be taking you through the lesson. Now, something interesting about redundancy is many of you know about it, but more on the economic side, where someone has been declared redundant at their work. In other words, there's no longer a use for them at the work. It sounds terribly cruel to put it that way, but there's no work for them anymore. They not necessary. So let's look at how this affects the language. Remember, the meaning in language is different to that in economics. Redundancy simply tells us that we're saying the same thing, that some of the words are not useful. It does seem to strengthen a question and or a response, especially when you want to emphasize something, because that was what repetition does. You want to emphasize something, then you repeat words. But remember that redundancy is not necessarily always bad. In small doses, you think about adding color to your writing, making it more exciting. And what you can do is you can replace redundant words with stronger words, with verbs, etc., something a lot stronger that can tell the same story. If we think of something like he was very tired, drained and worn out, and we say he was exhausted, one word's replaced all of those. So it seems like getting the redundancy out is also quite economical in words. Let's look at everyday misuse. Misuse is like abuse of things. If I tell you to repeat something, I'm not going to tell you to repeat it again. By asking you to repeat something, you are going to do it again. So don't say repeat again. Just repeat is enough. Return back. If you return something to me, you're giving it back to me. So you just say return. And if I say to you, revert to something, I mean go back to that. You don't say revert back. If you are to merge something, you are not going to merge together. You are going to merge it. That's the same as joining it, putting it together. And in my personal opinion, if I say I believe something, then I don't have to say it's my personal opinion. Who else's opinion am I going to be giving? It's like saying, asking you to answer in your own words, which is something that you are often requested. Of course, in exams, in your own words means something different, but we always make a joke about if you say in your own words, whose words are you going to use? That sort of thing. But if you were to appear in court and you have to testify, they will ask you to say in your own words. What they're actually saying to you is, tell us from your point of view what you saw happening. They don't want you to be coached. Now, I myself personally believe, I've already said I believe, and if I say I believe, that is sufficient. If something is in close proximity, proximity is close. You just say in proximity or close to. And a free gift, really? You shouldn't be buying your own gifts. If you get something free, it should be, if you get a gift, it should be free. You shouldn't have to pay for a gift. So throw the free away and just keep the gift. If I say both of you, I don't have to say both of you, that there are two of you. You should know there are two of you. Are you absolutely sure? I can just say, are you sure? Why do I say, are you absolutely sure? It sounds like I don't believe you. And the end result, the result is at the end. The result is the end. So it's not necessary to say the end result. And I think that is something we've coined from Afrikaans, where we've said the eindresultaat, the end result. And we just have to say the result. That's all we need to say. It's redundant. An invited guest. If you are a guest, you have been invited to the wedding, you've been invited to the birthday party. If I'm going to plan, I'm planning for the future, so I am planning. I don't have to say planning ahead, or I plan ahead. I'm not planning for the past or the present. So there you have it. If I say I'm planning or I plan for something, I don't have to say ahead. The reason why I do something It could be the reason I do it or why I do it. And an unexpected surprise, is there any other type of surprise? Unexpected, that's what a surprise should be. So I will just say I had a surprise, not an unexpected surprise. And if something is written down, if it's written, obviously it's written down. So you would say you have to write it, or it's written, but you don't have to say down. To postpone and reschedule a meeting, that's exactly the same thing. If I reschedule a meeting, that means that the meeting that was supposed to be held today is only being held tomorrow. I have postponed it till tomorrow. So I can postpone the meeting to the 16th, or I can reschedule it so that it will take place on the 16th. But I don't say I postpone and reschedule the meeting. That just doesn't make sense. It's not right. And now we get to practice makes perfect. And this is where you're going to click on the link and you're going to try the quiz. Very simple quiz. If you've been following the slides, you will know exactly what to do. You will manage perfectly because there are all things that we've looked at, what redundancy is and how to deal with redundancy. And then remember this, that in poetry and lyrics of songs, and even when you do creative writing, redundancy or repetition, maybe it's just straightforward repetition, has a very, very positive impact on your writing, or it can have, and it can make it more effective. So don't think, oh, no redundancy, no repetition ever, because sometimes it comes in very handy and it works very well. Good luck with the quiz. Here is the link, and on the next slide is the QR code if you prefer trying it.